Welcome back to Cycle Exchange YouTube. This week we're taking a look at the Giant Propel. Here we have their Propel, which is their leading aero bike. For years, probably one of the most easily recognizable aero bikes, thanks in part to having really deep sculpted tubes, and they had this really pointy stem cover over the back here for a long time. This updated model, things have been slimmed down all over the bike, and particularly on the stem we've got a more traditional looking cover and back bolts here. When riding the Giant Propel, one of the things you notice is just how stiff this front end really is. A large part of that is thanks to Giant keeping with a oversized steerer. So this is really thick through here and just really helps that front end stay nice and planted. It also means that as you turn in or as you're standing up out the saddle and riding on the front, you get a lot of power transfer and you get a lot of direct drive through the front end of the bike. One of the other things that makes this bike really fun to ride is that the BB here is actually a bit lower than on most bikes. So that means that as you're leaning into all your corners, your center of gravity is that little bit lower. That just gives you that extra bit of confidence as you're going through all your turns. So on a longer ride, the Giant Propel actually stays quite comfy. And whilst you've got this super stiff front end and you've got this aero race bike that just helps with your power transfer, you have also got tubes like particularly on the top tube here, they'll slender down quite a bit. Your seat stays, they're quite shaped, they're quite small, especially for an aero bike. One thing that you can't really see from the camera there, that if you feel with your hands, that actually it's quite shaped going into behind the wheel there, and quite a strong edge over here, and really flat from the back. This means that you've got the least amount of seat post with the most amount of air traveling around it, and that means you get a nice bit of compliance in the rear end, just soaking up some of that road buzz for you. So on this Propel Pro 1 model, we have rival axis shifting. So from SRAM, this is their latest wireless shifting, and as you can see here, there's no wires hidden anywhere. This front derailleur and the rear derailleur both have independent batteries. It all speaks to each other and up to the shifters, so when you shift, everything comes down here. One of the big advantages with this, you never have to index your gears. And an advantage of the SRAM over Shimano is if you do ever run into having a dead battery, you can swap these batteries around because they're interchangeable. So another nice feature with the SRAM Rival, on this particular bike we've actually got a power meter, and this power meter is built into the spindle on the crankset, and that just gives you that little bit of extra data. So if you just wanted to see what you're putting out, if you're training and trying to hit all those numbers, or if you just want to get to a coffee shop, brag to your mates about how much you put out on the last sprint, that's going to give you all the numbers that you need. Other small details that really matter on this bike and like add up to all those little things is these bottle cages were designed specifically from Giant for this bike. As you can see, you've got one for the down tube, one for the seat tube, and they've got nice shaping. That means they actually slide down onto these tubes really smooth. So if you can imagine the air running from the front here off your wheel onto the side and around this bottle cage, around that, and it sort of sucks back down onto there over the back. This just helps tie in the whole package being aero and not just the bike alone, so you've got real world speed in this. If we have a look at these SLR1 wheels that are on this bike, we have got a 50mm deep carbon wheel, and that is paired with the bladed spokes, and on the hub you've got quite a nice large flange on this. This means that these wheels are a nice balance of aero, that you're not going to get blown around too much, but you are going to get the benefit from the 50mm rim. The other thing is, with this three pieces combined, you get quite a stiffer wheel. That means that when you're on the bike and you get out and you start pedaling, you want to do that sprint or you're just trying to get up the hill, you get a real nice direct power transfer to the road. So the Propel, in summary, is a really fast aero bike. It's nice and stiff, but most of all, it's actually really fun to ride thanks to its handling characteristics. And often we see this translated into when people selling us Propel, they're getting themselves a new one. And most people won't get off one of these barks. They'll just get themselves another one and another one and another one. They are so addictive. So if you wanted to join the propeller crew and see what this bark is all about, check out our website. We have these coming through quite often because they are such a popular bark. Catch one on cycleexchange.co.uk. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you like this video on the Propel, check out our other reviews. If you've got a bark particularly that you wanted to find out a bit more, drop in the comments. We'll try to drop a review for it for you, and we'll see you in the next one.